Welcome back. So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about habits. Habits is like the foundation of everything that we do. And so whether it's positive or negative. And so I just want to give my 2 cents on how habits has played either a negative or positive role in my life personally. So listen into today's episode. We're talking habits. Welcome to the Beautifully Intentional podcast, where I share stories to encourage you to live a more intentional life. Whether it's in your motherhood journey, your friendships, your 9-to-5 job, or pursuing just radical dreams. I believe that sometimes we can just get stuck in the mundane craziness of life, and all it takes is one encouraging word to give us hope to live for something greater. I share stories of living intentional through the simple things like self-care, clean spaces, parenthood, and going after your dreams. My hope is at the end of every episode, there's a fire set deep within your soul that says, I can do this. And that maybe today is your day to find the beauty in the things that go unnoticed and start living a more intentional life. This is Cassandra Lau, and welcome to Beautifully Intentional. Okay, so I am no professional, okay, in anything except for doing hair. I am a licensed professional in that, but I am no professional in habit building. There are a million books on the science behind habits. So I recommend you dig into those if you want to know real knowledge on the topic, because I'm not even going to try to get into all of the scientific science. I'm not even going to try to get into all of that on you because I know that I would screw it up. But in this episode, I just want to talk about how creating healthy habits has changed my life personally. Okay, so first, I want to set the stage. I want you to think about all the habits that you do every day without even thinking about it. For me, it starts the second I wake up, I go straight to the bathroom. I have to pee as soon as I wake up. I don't think about it. I don't need to talk myself into it. I don't need to write it down on my calendar. I don't need to set an alarm. I just do it. It's habit. My body is trained to do that. And I actually used to think that everyone was that way. Doesn't everyone wake up with a full bladder? But no, they don't. And I learned that when I was actually potty training my son, Jet. He was, 3 years old or whatever. And he woke up with a dry diaper. So I was like, okay, perfect. This is the day I'm going to take off your diaper. Surely you have a full bladder. Cause I know for me, I have to go to the bathroom as soon as I wake up. So I took off his diaper. I made him sit on the toilet and he's like, I don't have to go. And I'm like, yes, you do. You have a full bladder. Just go to the bathroom, I'm not kidding you. For 2 hours, I made him sit there and then get off the toilet, take a break for 5 minutes and sit back on for 2 hours. And I was like, I don't understand how in the world you didn't go to the bathroom all night long. And now it's 10 a.m. and you still haven't gone. So at first I thought it was because he was just revolting, wanting to be potty trained. But I'm at some point he's going to have an accident, but he never had an accident. Even when I would take him off and let him play for 5 minutes or whatever, he would not go to the bathroom. So finally at 2.5 hours after he woke up, he finally was like, I need a diaper. And I'm like, you don't need a diaper. You need to sit on the toilet. So we got him to go to the bathroom on the toilet. And then I thought, the very next morning, he woke up with a dry diaper again. I'm like, all right, go sit on the toilet. And same thing happened. He did not go to the bathroom for so long. And so it seemed 2 hours later until I realized he actually just doesn't have to go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. So once I stopped making him do that, I started to notice he actually doesn't really go to the bathroom until he's been awake for a solid hour to 2 hours. And so it's just, and maybe that's not necessarily a habit that I have created as much as it is a body function, but my point is that when it comes to those habits, there's some things that we do without even thinking about it. There's so many things throughout the day that I do out of habit. I have to brush my teeth before I get in the shower. If I take a shower without brushing my teeth first, then I don't feel clean. It's the weirdest thing. It's just a habit. It's a habit that I sit down to do my makeup and I do it in the exact same order every single time. Foundation, concealer, setting powder, contour, blush, highlight, eyeshadow, mascara, brows. Like, that's it. I might change up the colors from time to time, but I do it in that order every single time. It's a habit. Like, when I'm looking out the car, when I'm backing out the car, I look over my right shoulder, even though I have a backup camera, because it's habit. I've been doing it the exact same way over and over and over. And like, okay, so have you ever been driving somewhere and like it's somewhere that you drive on a regular basis, and then all of a sudden you realize that you've been driving for a while, totally zoning out, and you have no clue how you got there? Like, no? Is it just me? Cool. I'm not kidding though. I do this all the time. And maybe it's just because like our lives are so systematic with like our kids going to school and then I go to work and then like just, I don't know, man, but I do this all the time. There's so many times where I'm driving and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, wait, I don't even remember like driving from point A to point B, but somehow like I stopped at all the stop signs, I stopped at all the red lights, I put my foot on the gas pedal, the car went forward, I put my foot on the brake and the car stopped, because it's a habit. It wasn't always like that. Like when I first started driving, I didn't drive out of habit. I didn't drive on autopilot, but I didn't always drive a car. I didn't always do my makeup. Like there was a point in my life where I never did makeup, and now I literally could do my makeup in the dark. I'm not kidding, because it's so systematic for me. Like brushing my teeth. I didn't always brush my teeth. Since I was a little kid, but still, you know what I mean? Like I didn't always have to brush my teeth before getting in the shower, but that became a habit. And now it's like so ingrained in me that I can't not do it that way. So like there's just all those things that like we didn't ever know how to do, and then like you start doing them and then just practicing them over and over and over until they become habit, like until they become a second nature. And now I do all those things on autopilot. So here's the thing. As adults, we know that there's change that needs to take place in our lives, but we let the overwhelm of starting something new completely paralyze us. Like the fact that we don't know what we're doing, we let that stop us from even trying. Like at what point did we become so jaded? And I've talked about this in my Instagram stories before, so if you follow me, you probably have heard this little rant, but like a baby is born useless. I'm sorry, they're born useless. Like they can't do anything. A baby can't do anything for itself. And somehow between birth and adulthood, we learn how to do every single thing for ourselves. Most of those things we do out of habit, like walking. We don't even think twice about walking. But when we were babies and we took that first step, we fell and we just kept getting back up without a second thought. We didn't fall and say, just forget it. This like walking thing clearly isn't for me. No, we got up. We tried again. We fell. We got up. We tried again. We fell. We got up. We tried again, over and over and over and over until it became a habit. And now I get out of bed and I put 2 feet on the ground and I just handle the day, and I don't think twice. I don't think twice about putting one foot in front of the other. But at what point did we get jaded? At what point did we start giving up on ourselves? Like why do we give up on ourselves so easily? It's like we start a new diet and then within 3 weeks, if we don't see results, we're like, oh, this isn't for me. Like I'll show up at the gym, I'll give it a month. If we don't see results, we're like, oh, this isn't for me. Like we try to save money and then we like blow it on like, a new pair of jeans. We're like, oh, the saving thing isn't for me. Like, we try to quit smoking and, you quit for like a week and then you smell nicotine or whatever. And you're like, oh, just forget it. This isn't for me. Like at what point do we give up on ourselves so easily? Well, okay. So for me, I had a handful of bad habits. Like, don't we all, right? And it was just that like, I was tired of all of those bad habits. I was tired of all those things that I wasn't happy with myself being a regular part of my life. I was like, forget this. I know how habits work, and I'm going to focus on one bad habit at a time each month because I know that the time is going to pass anyways. And I know that if I don't do something about these habits, they aren't going to go anywhere. So I just got to do something, because the reality is that habits are there whether we like it or not. Habits are present whether we like them or not. We have habits in our life that are either positive or negative. So if you're going to give your life over to negative habits, why not try to give them to positive habits? Because you're walking out habits every day, all day anyways. So all of this started actually a few years back when I started my health journey. I never paid attention to habits leading up to this particular point in my life. I just did things on autopilot. I did things out of always doing them the same way. Like I just never paid attention to habits until it came to my health. And let's start a little backstory. So I was raised on like Hamburger Helper and Pop-Tarts. I ate only processed foods. I was like 100 pounds soaking wet. So I ate terrible, literally ate fast food multiple times a day, and still only 100 pounds soaking wet. And then I had kids, and then I turned 30. And the next thing you know, I was the same weight as I was when I delivered my babies, but there was no baby in my tummy this time. And like I tried to lose the weight on my own, and I could only be consistent for like 1 month, and then I would lose 5 pounds, and then I would gain it all back, and then I just kept going back and forth. So I joined this online fitness community called Fit Girls Guide, and it was really cool. It was super interactive. I had my own separate Instagram, and it had all these like daily challenges. It was really cool. It was super encouraging. I lost probably about 10 pounds on my own. And then I just kind of felt like I hit a plateau. I didn't really know what else to do. So then I got a trainer and I lost like another 25 pounds. Anyways, I had finally got down to like pre-pregnancy weight. And then at that time I was like as lean and as fit as I had ever been in my whole life. And that was really cool. Like I had lost all the weight. And then I thought that like for some reason, and because granted, leading up to this point, I had eaten so crappy and I never gained weight from food. I just thought that all the weight that I had gained was just from my metabolism slowing down because of having kids. But so I just never changed the mentality of my relationship with food. It was just more like I had a goal. I wanted to lose the weight. So I did that. I achieved that. And then I thought, oh, cool. Now I can eat whatever I want. Next thing you know, I gained it all back except for 7 pounds. And for me, whenever I'm faced with a problem, it's like my natural reaction to find a solution. I rarely get stuck in like the woe is me mentality because I know that doesn't actually get you anywhere. It doesn't produce change. It doesn't produce results. It's a waste of time for me. That's how I've always viewed like the woe is me mentality. I've never found myself stuck there. Not to say that I don't have moments of that or that like I don't struggle with doubt. It's just that I will always center back down to the position of what can I do to solve this problem, period. So when I realized how much weight I had really gained back, instead of being like pissed off about it, I just asked myself why. Like I had to sit there and pick apart what happened. Why did I gain it back? And I realized that all the weight that I had lost was out of motivation, it was out of accountability, it was out of competition. And those things aren't bad, but they didn't build healthy habits for me. And once those motivations and those accountabilities and that competition was gone, then I had nothing left to stand on. And I resorted back to all of my old habits. Because for me, I crave crappy food. That's just is what it is. Like I love pizza, burgers, tacos, french fries, ice cream, candy, you name it. Like I don't crave kale. I don't crave a salad. I don't crave boiled chicken. Like I don't crave vegetables. I don't crave, like those are things that like I naturally don't crave. So I was willing to cut out all the junk and replace it with the healthy things out of motivation to lose weight. But because I didn't actually change habits or mindsets, it didn't actually lead to lasting results. So I was like, okay, it's habits. I got to get down to that. Like, Okay, so I told myself, I'm going to make a list of every bad habit that I have that I want to change, and I'm going to tackle it one at a time. Just regardless if it has anything to do with weight loss. The weight loss is what triggered it, but I knew that there was so many habits that were negatively affecting me or things that I wanted to change and I just wasn't. So the weight loss kind of triggered that, like, okay, let's get down to the bottom of habits and healthy habits. But I didn't want this to be about weight loss. In fact, on purpose, I didn't choose weight loss to be the first habit that I wanted to tackle. I purposefully I chose purposefully not to start on New Year's or on a Monday. Like I wanted it to be something that I knew I had to put in the hard work for with zero motivation. I didn't want it to be that, like, okay, it's a new year, I can build new habits. I purposefully gave it a few weeks. I purposefully waited until it wasn't a Monday. It was random Tuesdays, random Wednesdays that I would just decide I'm going to pick up this new habit. Like, I'm going to start this new habit. Also, I just want to preface, I know I've already kind of talked about the weight loss part, but I just want to go into this for a second. When I talk about weight loss, it's because this actually has nothing to do with body image. And I want to make this very clear. This has nothing to do with being a specific weight. This has to do with health 100%. And the reason why I knew that I had weight to lose was because I had gained all the weight that I had from unhealthy eating habits and from unhealthy food. And it was weight that had been put on my body from unhealthy food, and it was unhealthy weight. It has nothing to do with an actual number on a scale. It has everything to do with like the health of my actual body. And I know that when I was eating, and I know this because when I was eating like the clean, raw, wholesome, nutritious foods, my body naturally just lost weight because it was carrying around weight that was put on from unhealthy food choices. So like, I don't have a goal weight. I don't have like a goal physique. I don't have a goal of how much healthy food I want to consume versus unhealthy food. Like, just the natural results for me to find weight loss, for me personally, is eating healthy food. And it has nothing to do with the actual weight loss or size or body image or appearance itself. It's just simply, I know that unhealthy weight that I am carrying around when I carry it is because of unhealthy food habits. And there is nothing wrong with wanting to lose unhealthy weight. And there is also nothing wrong with carrying weight that is carried with a healthy diet. So I just want to speak into this for a second, and this is totally off topic, but just while I'm thinking about it, like, I feel like the diet culture says that your body has to be chiseled and fit and you know, the whole deal, and shames you for eating bad and all this stuff. And then we have the opposite, which is like, you know, eat whatever you want. Like, don't pay attention to what you eat. Don't let diet culture like run your life and yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, all of that is irrelevant. Like, all of it is irrelevant. The size of your body is irrelevant. It comes down to how are you taking care of your physical body. Like, I know people who you may look at and think that they're overweight, but they actually have a very healthy diet, and they consume a ton of nutritious foods. It's just that their body carries weight, and that is perfectly fine. And then there's other people who are a rail. This was me in high school. I was 110 pounds, but I ate fast food every day. That's not healthy. This has nothing to do with the size or physique or anything. It has to do with taking care of your physical body through nutritious food. So anyway, okay, so back to habits. Okay, so some of those bad habits that I created, I'm going to go through like some of the bad habits that I had that I wanted to kick to the curb, starting off with Diet Coke, okay? I craved it with every single meal. Well, not breakfast. I didn't necessarily crave Diet Coke for breakfast, but every lunch and dinner for sure. Like, I felt like Diet Coke made everything taste better. I could literally live on Diet Coke and French fries. all day, every day, and be perfectly happy. But it's not something that I always drank. In fact, I used to think it was disgusting. I grew up with a mom who used to drink it, and I thought it was so gross. And then I met Dustin, and he was a Diet Coke drinker. So after like a year of like having a sip here or there, I eventually grew to tolerate it, and then I grew to like it, and then I grew to become addicted to it. It was not overnight. It was from consistently having it. It then became a habit, which then became a craving. And so I actually used like, so I just kind of use that mindset when like I want to cut a habit. I kind of just always remember, like I knew that like I went my whole life without drinking it until I drank it, right? Like I went my whole life as a kid not addicted to Diet Coke until I became addicted to Diet Coke. So surely I didn't need it anymore. I mean, because let's get real, it's poison, just straight up poison. So I cut it out cold turkey for 3 months. I didn't necessarily, I kind of put a time frame on it, but not necessarily. And it was so dang hard for the first month. It was so dang hard for the first week, the first day. I mean, seriously, the first couple of days, I had a raging migraine. And then I get to the end of the week, I'm like, okay, I didn't have Diet Coke at all today. I still let myself have French fries, but I didn't pair them with Diet Coke because it was the Diet Coke specifically that I wanted to get rid of. It was that habit that I wanted to kick. So the first week was terrible, and every week got better, and every month got better. Next thing you know, by 3 months in, like the habit was broken. It was like, and now that the habit's broken, I'll have it every once in a while. Like I don't need it. I don't feel like I crave it. If I do go like a weekend and we're out and we're like having lots of fun and a celebration, and I do have it more than I should, I will begin to crave it again. So then I just have to kick that habit right back again. But yeah, just like I just started saying yes to water over Diet Coke, even when I didn't want to, even when I was eating a bean and cheese burrito, which a bean and cheese burrito and Diet Coke is like also the best combo. But it's like just simply saying no to it and choosing something else over it over time broke that habit. It was a habit that literally I have had for the last 13 years. That is crazy. 13 years of drinking Diet Coke. Oh my gosh. So anyway, okay, next habit was making my bed. I wanted to create a habit of making my bed every day. And dude, this one is so basic, but I went my entire life of 33 years of never making my bed, ever. Not since I was a kid, not as an adult. And our room just always felt unkept because of it. So I started making my bed every single morning like a real adult, and it feels so good. My room just feels so much more clean. I feel more responsible. It's just so refreshing. And it's so quick. Like it's done in like 5 minutes. And I don't expect perfection from myself. I just expect effort. So sometimes it's like I do like a half crap job and like just throw it together just to call it done. And sometimes I really like get in there and like make it look really nice. It's just about creating the habit. And this one specifically was one that I like did to also just prove that like the power of habit and that it works. Like I feel so accomplished first thing in the morning knowing that like I made my bed. The rest of my room might be out of control. Like there might be like, you know, laundry that needs to be done or like kids stuff is in here. But I know that every single day I gave myself to making that bed, dang it. Okay, so then the next habit I wanted to fix was number 3, brushing my teeth and washing my face at night before bed. Okay, so here's the thing, just hear me out. I know it's nasty, but the thing about me is that once I sit down, I will literally fall asleep within 20 minutes most nights. It's obnoxious. Like ask Dustin, it's obnoxious. And I'm telling you, I'm part narcoleptic. I think I've talked about this in other episodes, but I'm undiagnosed, but I'm going to go ahead and say I'm like 80% a narcoleptic. So what would always happen is I would sit down and like me and Dustin would watch TV and then I hit a wall and I can't move. It's like I can't even save myself if there was like a fire. It's bad. Like when I hit a wall, I hit a wall, and it's like I turn into a completely different person. Like I talk fast all day, I walk fast all day. Like I can do a lot. I can go run 9 errands, like no big deal. But when I hit a wall, I hit a wall. So usually Dustin has to like wake me up and drag me to bed. Well, I'm just so tired by that point that I just get into bed without brushing my teeth or washing my face, just a full face of makeup. And I know both are so bad for you, like so bad for your skin, so bad for your teeth. All of my dental hygienist friends are cringing right now. But so that was another habit. I was like, okay, I'm an adult. I have the power to change this, so I'm gonna do it. So I started getting ready for bed at the same time as the kids. So while they're brushing their teeth, I go in, I wash my face, and I brush my teeth. It takes like 5 minutes. Or I'll go straight in there, like into the bathroom and wash my face and brush my teeth as soon as I put them to bed. So once I put them to bed, I tell them like, don't call for me because I'm gonna be getting ready for bed myself. I won't be able to hear you. So like, if you need anything, holler now because once I put you in bed, I'm getting ready for bed. Or as soon as I get home from work, if it's like a late night, as soon as I get home from work, I go straight to the bathroom, I change into my pajamas, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. So now it's just so much of a habit that I physically cannot not brush my teeth and wash my face before bed. I'm like, how the heck did I go my whole life living this way? Like, I know how. Bad habits. That's how. Night snacking being another one. That's number 4. There is nothing greater than eating popcorn and M&Ms at night, or a bowl of ice cream, or a bowl of cereal. Like, why is cereal so much better at night? Again, I went my whole life without eating at night like that every single night. So I use that same mentality. Okay, I went X amount of years without needing a bowl of something at night. So now that I've started this bad habit, surely I can fix it. And then it was just like all of a sudden I had created this bad habit of eating junk food every single night. It's just the worst, like filling your body with junk and then going straight to bed. But anyway, my body began to crave it. It was like every night, as soon as the kids go to bed, as soon as the TV turns on, it was like, I need something. I depended on it. I needed it because I had formed that habit. So because my new focus was building habits and not weight loss, I didn't come up with like a quote unquote diet that I needed to be on because I already did that, lost the weight, gained it back. So this time around, I looked at the certain food habits that I had to change. So I started it off with like the Diet Coke and then the night snacking. So I still allowed myself to have French fries during the day, sometimes like 5 days a week. I just focused on one habit at a time. So stopped eating snacks at night. So I would just create kind of like a food, I have like a food calendar now, but at the time that I was trying to kick this habit and I didn't have like a meal plan or anything, I just told myself like no night snacking during the week. Friday nights, like when we're watching a movie, I can have popcorn or I can have ice cream or I can have something. But to like break the habit, I just knew that like Monday through Friday and even on the weekends, like just stop snacking at night. If I feel like I'm super hungry and I need something, then I can choose something that's healthier, but I just got rid of the junk food at night. And honestly, building the habit of brushing my teeth as soon as the kids go to bed actually would encourage me not to night snack because I felt like, well, I already brushed my teeth for the night. I'm not going to eat any more food. Okay, so the next habit was the 5 a.m. gym. I get this one a lot. Like, people like comment all the time, like, how the heck do you do it? How do you have 3 kids? How do you have a job? How do you do the whole thing and still wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym? So I'll talk about that one. This was again, like 3 years ago when I had started my fitness journey. I get so tired, I get so busy throughout the day and then I get so tired at night that I could never find time to go to the gym. Like I just couldn't find time. I know that it was all excuses and that surely I could have built a habit at going in the evening and I could have I know all that, but there was just I just couldn't do it. So There was one day, this is so random. It was one day I was on Facebook and a friend of mine who has 6 kids, and I believe her oldest was 7 when she had the 6th. Like, talk about crazy town. So she had filled out one of those surveys where it's questions that you like ask your spouse to answer for you or whatever, you know, like there's also those like surveys where you ask your kids to answer it for you. Anyway, this was a spouse one. And one of the questions was, what makes you most proud of me? And his answer was that you get up at 5 in the morning to work out. And I was like, she gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out? And she has 6 kids and she homeschools them? Like, what? I remember thinking, like, there's no way that I will ever be able to do that. There's just no way. Well, once I started, like, you know, getting into like this whole health journey, and I realized that my life was not set up to succeed in working out any other time, I had to tell myself, like, I don't have a choice. If she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it with 6 kids, I can do it. And this isn't about comparison. It's about motivation. And it's about inspiration. And to me, that was inspirational that she sacrificed. And we might live 2 totally different lives, but I knew that, like, it's possible. It's possible, right? So I remember that first time, like, setting an alarm at 5 and you wake up and it's dark outside. It feels like it's the middle of the night and it feels wrong. Like, I remember it feeling so wrong the first day. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get up out of bed right now, get dressed, get in my car while it's dark, drive to a gym, and then be active. Like, there's no way. There's no way. But I did it. I did it the first day and it sucked so bad. The next day sucked so bad. And I did it every single day, 5 days a week for the next 3 months. And it sucked so bad every single time. I want to say it was like so for the first probably 2 years, I literally would have to talk myself through every minute of it. Like, I would first set an alarm at 4:55. And then I would say, I have 5 minutes. I'm going to hit snooze for 5 minutes. That 5-minute snooze would go out. I would lay in my bed. I would look at the ceiling and I would literally have to talk myself through it. I would say, just get out of bed. Just get up out of bed. You're not going to get fit by laying in bed. You're not going to get healthy. You're not going to get stronger by laying in bed. Just get up and do it. Just go to the bathroom. If you can get yourself to the bathroom, we'll talk about it from there. So then I would get up and I'd go to the bathroom. And once I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, okay, you already got up. The alarm already went off. You already got to the bathroom. Just get your gym clothes on. If you can just get your gym clothes on, surely you can get yourself to the car. So then I would get my gym clothes on and then I would get to the car. And then I'm like, you got yourself to the car. Just drive to the gym. Like, you've come this far. You might as well just get to the gym. And then I would get to the gym. And then I would have to tell myself, like, you already got to the gym. You might as well just work out. So then I would do my whole workout and then I would get home and I would feel so dang good. And I'm like, yes, this is awesome. Like, it's 6:30 a.m. My workout is already done. I feel good. The kids didn't wake me up. I woke myself up. I had time for myself. I invested in my body. This feels so good. I have positive endorphins flowing. I have energy for the day. And then the next night would roll around. I would get in bed. The alarm would go off at 5. I would have to tell myself, like, there's no way I'm gonna get up right now. It's the middle of the night. It's dark outside. There's no way I can do this. And then I would tell myself, you're not gonna get fit from laying in bed. You're not gonna get stronger from laying in bed. Just get up, just go to the bathroom. I'm not kidding you guys. I would have this conversation in my mind for 2 years. It took 2 years. I'm finally at the place now. I set my alarm, I go to bed, my alarm goes off, I pop out of bed, I go to the bathroom, I change. I don't have to talk myself through any of it. It's on autopilot now. I go through seasons of, like, either getting out of the habit or life just gets crazy and it's just not an option. Like, when my husband's traveling, I can't go to the gym at 5 in the morning because I have children to look after. So, like, whenever he gets back or, you know, if we're on vacation, like, getting back into it is a little more painful. Like, it's tiring, and I sometimes will tell myself, like, man, like, I would way rather be sleeping right now. But it has become such a habit that if I just give myself to like 5 days of it, it just becomes autopilot again. And just for the record, I don't love working out. Like, I think that some people, and because this was me, I used to always think that like the people who worked out loved to work out, but I don't love working out. I don't love getting sweaty. I don't love being hot. I don't love my muscles hurting. I don't love not being able to breathe. And those are all things that happen when you're working out. But I know the positive effects on my physical body that it has. So I do it out of habit, out of discipline, because that's what's best for me. So anyway, so there's that one. That's the gym talk. So here's the thing. Our bodies were created to adapt. That is just part of our design. We were made to adapt. That's why nurses who work night shift can just naturally get up after years of doing it. Like, I actually remember, I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but I was like 9 years old. I met this girl from Alaska. She was like the cousin of a friend or whatever. Anyway, it was the dead middle of winter. And I was freezing. Everyone around us is freezing. Everyone is like decked out, like beanie, gloves, jeans, the boots, the whole get up. And she was in, because it was probably only like 65, right? And she was in shorts and a tank top. And I remember asking her, like, how the heck are you not cold? And she said, she was like, this feels so nice. Like, your guys' weather is so nice right now. And I remember looking at her like she was crazy. Like, what? It is freezing. And she was like, well, yeah, I'm from Alaska though. So she's like, for me, 65, like, this is hot. And I remember being 9 years old with my mind blown that like our bodies, we're adaptable. Like, we were made to adapt. And that for her, living in a temperature in Alaska of like freezing, actual freezing, meant that when she came into our climate, like, she wasn't used to it being that was hot to her, right? But for us, it was like we are used to what we're used to. And so it was like, if you would have dropped me off in Alaska when she thinks it's like warm, I probably would have been freezing. And it's just crazy that like we all have the same human body, but our bodies were meant to adapt. They were meant to adjust. If we give ourselves to something habitually, our bodies will adjust, our minds will adjust. And so anyways, we were meant to adapt. And so like habits that are formed will just like, if we continue on with them, they will just become autopilot. And like, so I want you just to think about all the things that you do without even thinking about it. Like, most of it, if not all of those things, if not are things that were developed over time. Like, they weren't always a part of your life. Like any bad habit that you create, you didn't always do it. Like if your bad habit is smoking, you didn't always smoke. You weren't like 4 years old smoking. Eventually, like, you started it, it became a regular part of your life, and now you're like addicted to it, and now it becomes a habit. Like, so positive or negative, like even for those who do floss their teeth twice a day, it's like you didn't always floss your teeth twice a day. You started doing it, and then you did it over and over and over, and it became a habit, and now you do it on autopilot. You do it without even thinking about it. There are so many habits that we develop, like pulling out your phone as soon as you're in a waiting room or that you're standing in line. And it's like, you don't even think about it. Like it, and we didn't always have cell phones, right? We didn't always have social media on our phones. So you used to wait in a waiting room without looking at your phone. You used to wait in a line without looking at your phone. I actually purposefully, and I'm not very good at it, but I purposely, when I get to a waiting room, I purposely don't take out my phone. Like, I just look around and I watch everybody else on their phones. Because it makes me feel weird. It makes me feel weird that everyone is so disconnected and they're all looking down. Not that it was any different than a waiting room full of people reading a magazine. Like, it's just a digital magazine. Like, I get it. Like, this isn't about shame if that's what you do. But there's times where I just want to check out. I don't want to talk to anybody. But I just don't want to be a person who has to depend on always being entertained. So I purposefully will not take out my phone at certain places or certain times in an effort to create a more healthy habit of not depending on those things. So here's the thing. We are creating habits whether we like it or not. You're either creating a habit of staying up too late, you're creating a habit of getting a good night's sleep. You're either creating a habit of spending too much money without checking your bank account, or you're creating a habit of keeping track of where all your money goes. You either create a habit of packing your lunch, or you're creating a habit of always getting fast food. Like, you do something long enough, anything, and it becomes a habit. So in the same way, if there are habits in your life that you want to get rid of, I am here to tell you that in the same way that you developed them freely over time, you can also change them freely over time. Now, I would never say it's going to be easy, because it's going to be really freaking hard. But if you want to see change in your life, you've got to put in the work. At the end of the day, you aren't happy right now the way things are, right? Like, you aren't happy with those areas that need to change. So why not put in the hard work so that maybe you can live a happy, free life on the other side of the hard work? You're worth it. You're worth investing in. Your health is worth investing in. Your home is worth investing in. Your dreams are worth investing in. Your marriage is worth investing in. Those bad habits, they aren't adding value to your life, and yet they're taking up so much time and energy and your well-being. So anyways, recognize that the power of habits in your life, for positive or negative, take control. Get habitual about the things that need improvement in your life. I'm right here with you. There are still things that I have a whole list of bad habits that I still want to change. So I'm right here with you in the thick of it, fighting to become the very best version of myself. So I hope that this can just kickstart you into thinking just more intentionally about the things that you give yourself to habitually. And if there's ever, if you want to dig deeper into the science behind it, there's so many books. I don't know which ones to recommend. I've read some stuff, but it's just, there's so much research. Give yourself to learning about how powerful habits are. Anyways, until next time. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope that you found this episode inspiring or encouraging and just life-giving. And as always, I appreciate any and all positive feedback, keynote positive feedback. So tag me, message me, go on iTunes and leave a review, rate, subscribe, because that's how podcasts stay alive. And I didn't even mean to rhyme there, so that works. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram at beautifully.intentional, and that's where I hang out. That's where you can kind of see me in my own personal life. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening in. Until next time.